And so the term flyover country really I went to Berkeley and Harvard, which are great in places where there are a lot of investors. And so early on, I got a lot of comments about, oh, it's just so surprising that something like this would come out of Colorado. And I thought, they're really smart people here. I um that is has that was eye-opening for me. Very early on, I got comments that were along the lines of, "You just seem so young,"
Mm.
I think was a euphemism for, "I don't see many women in this field. I don't look young anymore." That has gone away, but I will say for there to be a perception that there are very few women in the field, all my mentors have been women, and there are a lot of amazing women in the battery field. I did get some pushback within my field
Yeah.
from people who had tried to make 3D batteries and were not successful. And what I have tried to do a good job of is giving a lot of credit for the initial ideas.
Mhm.
So those initial attempts, I learned a lot from where they failed, and that helped me refine my approach. And so what I hope I'm doing for our community as a whole is showing like the progression of how ideas build off each. Um, so I think it's difficult to try to get a whole field to think about
Mm.
things differently. Early on, I was told, "You're trying to build all 3 parts of the battery, that's too complicated." Most companies that are successful only focus on
Oh.
one, but that's why the improvements are so
Mm.
incremental because they're not trying to come at it from a very different
Mhm.
way. And also told early on, um, it is too much to think about long-term manufacturing while you're trying to invent the science. You should just invent the science first, and then you figure out the manufacturing later. But what we are seeing in the battery industry today is a lot of the really big, high-profile startup companies have spent a lot of time inventing, and now they're stuck at the manufacturing
Y
because they didn't think about it from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and the last piece of it early on, I was told, all this, like, trying to be sustainable is such a distraction